Guys, welcome to my election video. Special Politics Buzz here. Today is Monday, May 25th. So, as of today, I'm gonna be doing more of these types of videos. Gonna be talking about more into Donald Trump and Joe Biden on for the let me fill up these states here. Solid Republican. I'm going to be talking more about the Electoral College. More. Should we get here? Well, yeah, I could actually see Nevada as a solid state. Okay, I think I filled up every single, not yet. There we go. Alright. West Virginia, of course. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking more about the Electoral College more as we get into November. So these are the states that I have as of toss-up, being Arizona. Well, I wouldn't list Colorado as a toss-up. I'd actually put that as a likely. Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, Maine, second district, not the entire district. Majority of the entire district is mainly, well, Democrat. And on New Hampshire, I wouldn't really characterize it as a toss-up. However, it is becoming more and more competitive presidential election-wise. However, when coming to approval ratings, New Hampshire voters do not necessarily like Donald Trump, so I'd probably give New Hampshire to a likely for Joe Biden. Now, when coming to Texas, moving to this state, not many people in Texas actually like Donald Trump. As funny as it may seem, however, even though it may be that way, I would still characterize Texas as a likely to lean, if anything, Republican state. It's been pretty solid for ever since Bush in 2004, 2000, and 2008. Moving on to Arizona, that's gonna be a pure toss up right there. That is oof. I've looked at poll numbers, but the main thing about poll numbers is that what many people forget about the poll numbers is that you have to look not only at the poll numbers but at the margin of error, and that's where many people get messed up on, is the margin of error, and then they just automatically assume, oh, this guy won or this guy won. But really, when you look at the margin of error, that, if anything, it could be Donald Trump winning or Joe Biden winning. But in the polls, it says that Biden is winning or Donald Trump is winning, when it could actually be the reverse because of a simple margin of errors. I'm not very reliable on polling. The main reason why I'm not is, well, mostly because of 2016. Even though the polling, I'm not gonna lie, some of the polling has been accurate, but Wisconsin had Hillary up on the polls, and I was like, well, that was obviously wrong. But Arizona, I could see it going either way. And which is why I'll give it a tilt Democrat, because it's been trending Democrat. I wouldn't say, oh, it's going to be Democrat in November. I'm not 100% sure on that call. And because of that, I'm just keeping it at tilt. Florida, that can go to either Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Honestly, I could see it going either way, but right now I see the state favoring to Donald Trump. Um, not even gonna lie on that one. North Carolina, that state, I just believe that I believe that President Donald Trump has just recently threatened to cancel the Charlottesville convention for the Republican nomination. Um, I This state was a solid GOP state in 2012, but 2008 it went Democrat. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty pure toss-up state to me. However, I do think it is a GOP state and um, well, actually, a yeah, a lean GOP state and well, a likely GOP state in that matter, mostly because Donald Trump is very, very well known in North Carolina and Florida, and actually very well liked as well. Um, Moving on, Virginia, I'd characterize that as a likely Democratic state. Virginia, when I looked at the 2016 election results, it was it wasn't a safe margin for the Democratic Party, but I do think it is a solid state for them to um, depend on in 2020 as we look forward to that in November. Um, Moving on to Maine second district, I'd characterize that as a likely GOP state, mostly because of the rural voters up north in Maine. Uh, Iowa, I mean, oh, Ohio, I think I would characterize this as a likely GOP state for Donald Trump. Mostly because of he's very well liked in Ohio. I'm not even gonna lie. That I really I I think Joe Biden could win the state, but I'm not 100% sure if it will certainly flip to the Democratic Party. Now, my predictions can completely change, but this is how I view it as of today, of May 25th, Monday. Um, Iowa, I think we're gonna have to look at that one. Many people say it's I'm sorry, a Republican state, a solid GOP state, but after the Trump tariffs and now the coronavirus kicking in, I'm thinking it's more toss up, honestly. With Donald Trump's approval rating going in different ways. I really, even though I don't really rely on the approval rating because approval ratings don't mean really anything. It's really the people that vote that really do. But I mean, I guess I could put Iowa as a likely, well, lean Republican state, mostly because of him being well known in Iowa. Wisconsin, oh, I'm giving that a tilt Democrat on that one, mostly because I think that's gonna be the most closest state out of out of all the states for 2020, mostly because of um, um well, Donald Trump won in 2016 in the state by a very, very rough margin, and I think it's still going to be a very rough margin in 2020 because the demographics, if you look at Wisconsin, demographics in Wisconsin is changing constantly. And honestly, the reason why I put it as a tilt Democratic state is mostly because, well, if not many of you've known this, but the Wisconsin Supreme Court has recently made, well, in my opinion, the dumbest decision ever to be made with. But that's just my opinion. I know it's a biased opinion, but the reason why I put that as that's the reason why I put it as a total Democratic state. But the Wisconsin State Supreme Court ruled that the election for the primary of the Democratic primary and the Republican primary must be held. I can't remember which date. But basically, the Wisconsin governor wanted to postpone it, and the GOP was not very happy with that, and so they sued, and the Wisconsin Supreme Court overturned it, and it actually backfired at them actually, and actually replaced a GOP Supreme Court incumbent justice who is currently in office, and I believe the justice elect will be in office in August, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but that's mostly how I feel about Wisconsin. On Michigan, I can see that as a likely Democratic state, mostly because Michigan is reliably Democratic. I feel like Michigan is becoming more and more Democratic as the years go by. Yeah, sure, it went to Donald Trump in 2016, but Michigan, I see a very, very um, good, good, solid chance for the Democratic Party. Moving on to Pennsylvania. Oof. Pennsylvania was where Joe Biden was born, but I see that as a toss-up state as well. My main reason behind that is because Pennsylvania has been well, it re-elected Governor Wolf in the 2018 midterms. Obviously, we know what happened there. But 2016, Donald Trump barely got the state. I believe it was by less than a 1% margin. But overall, I would say that Joe Biden would, by a tilt margin, win the state of Pennsylvania. The reason because of that is because Joe Biden is well known in the state of Pennsylvania, and I really do think he has a shot there. Just at Pennsylvania. And I think we all saw the new Joe Biden strategic map where he was focusing on the Rust Belt, which is Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. And, well, North Carolina is not a Rust Belt state, but they were focusing on that too, and as well as Florida. But yeah, that's my prediction for that. As for Nebraska's second district, Nebraska's second district was a very close margin in 2018. The Republican, I believe, barely won that. He didn't win it by a solid margin. He won it by, I believe, a 40% margin. If I have to guess, because honestly, I really, really don't know, because there hasn't really been much polling on Nebraska's second district. I would go with a lean for the GOP, mostly because of Nebraska is reliably Republican, and it was the exact same way in 2016. However, it was competitive. That is what I would consider it as, mostly because, well, this is a presidential election year, so I think that not only will Democratic voters turn out, but also Republican voters will also as well. And, well, that's mostly why I think that he'll carry that. Mostly, not only that, but Nebraska also is approving Donald Trump, not by, I wouldn't say a great margin, but I'd say a good enough margin for him to hold on and clinch on to that second district and keep that one electoral vote. And this is pretty much my election video. My election prediction as of now, May 25th of 2020, Monday. Joe Biden at 289 electoral votes, winning the presidency and being the effectively the 46th president of the United States, and Donald Trump at 249 electoral votes. And that is all. Thank you.